Welcome to Now Trending. In this video, we're going to talk about top 7 Olympic scandals. Before we get started, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Now Trending for more trending videos. Every Olympic Games has had some kind of controversy or drama, ranging from minor squabbles to outright bloodshed to convert long-term plans. And because there's no truly neutral third party, no unaligned nation is willing to sit this one out and referee, disputes drag on for a long period or even go unresolved. As a result, the Olympic Games are forever associated with controversy. Here are 10 of the most famous or infamous Olympic scandals. Number 7. Salt Lake City bribes. They probably shouldn't have held the 2002 Salt Lake City Olympics in Salt Lake City. The city had failed 4 times to bid for the Olympics, so to win the 5th time, they decided to bribe members of the International Olympic Committee with money, presents, and possibly prostitutes. Several IOC members and many SLC employees who launched the bribery lost their jobs as a result of the affair. It also demonstrated that Olympic officials' bribing was not limited to SLC. Similar bribes were discovered in the past 2 Olympics, according to investigations. Number 6. Kerrigan and Harding. The Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan affair is well known, so much so that a Morgan Robbie-led film, I, Tonya, was made about it. Harding and Kerrigan were 2 of America's greatest female figure skaters in 1993, and they were poised to compete in qualifying trials for berths on the American team at the 1994 Lillehammer Olympics. Then disaster came when Kerrigan was attacked by a guy wielding a lead pipe, allowing Harding to take her place. Of course, the whole thing devolved into a gigantic soap opera. Harding's ex-husband hired the assailant. Harding may or may not have assisted in the planning of the attack, but she was aware of it before authorities. Both skaters made it to Lillehammer, where Kerrigan won silver and Harding suffered a nervous breakdown. Number 5. Craig Louganis' secret. Greg Louganis is widely regarded as the greatest diver of all time, and he was hoping to add to his illustrious record at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. Louganis hit the back of his head on a diving board in the preliminary round, suffering a concussion and bleeding into the pool. He was stitched up and returned to his previous level of performance. Louganis didn't admit that he had been diagnosed with HIV a full 6 months before the 1988 Olympics began until 7 years later. Louganis was frightened of infecting another swimmer because HIV can be transmitted through fluid, and he had bled in the water. Louganis hid his diagnosis and the obvious risk because of this, as well as the tremendous intolerance surrounding homosexuality at the time. Fortunately, no one was affected, and health experts have since stated that the chances of transmission were practically nil. Number 4. Boris the Cheat. Boris Onyshchenko is a former Penn athlete who gained the titles Boris the Cheat, Dishonest Boris, and the largest fraud in Olympic history for his devious, pre-planned cheat during the 1967 Montreal Olympics. Onyshchenko's ippy lit up during the fencing portion of the pentathlon, signaling a hit. His ippy, however, remained in midair, nowhere reaching his opponent. Even though it was dismissed as a one-time occurrence, questions were raised after the second false point. Onyshchenko's ippy was examined, and it was discovered to contain a switch that could be flipped to automatically record a touch, whether or not one had occurred. The entire setup was deviously ingenious, but it was implemented clumsily. Number 3. Everything about 1936. The 1936 Berlin Olympics are arguably the most well-known Olympic Games in history. The Games were hosted in Nazi Germany's capital, Berlin, 3 years after Hitler's horrific ascension to power and during his reign of terror against Europe's Jewish population. Many Jewish athletes protested the Games as a result of this. The Games were seen by Hitler as a way to demonstrate Aryan dominance, and many believe that even American authorities were complicit with drawing remaining Jewish players from some sports to appease the dictator. In a poetic twist, this resulted in African-American Jesse Owens being selected for the 4x100 relay team, earning him one of his gold medals and thereby making Aryan superiority a little more dubious a concept. Number 2. Russian doping. Vitaly Stepanov, a Russian anti-doping agency employee, and his wife, Olympic runner Yulia Stepanov, sought to uncover Russia's vast doping program between 2010 and 2014. Yulia secretly recorded talks with athletes discussing the scheme, while Vitaly transmitted hundreds of communications to the World Anti-Doping Agency. The story was then corroborated in 2016 by Grigory Rodchenkov, the former head of the Moscow Anti-Doping Laboratory. Russian competitors have since been stripped of 43 medals, and the country has been barred from competing in the 2020-2021 Olympic Olympic Games in Tokyo. Number 1. East German doping. East Germany only lasted for nearly 50 years, from the end of World War II to the fall of the Berlin Wall. Despite its brief existence as a nation, its tiny size and a variety of economic, social, and political challenges, East Germany consistently dominated in several sporting events, most notably the Olympics from 1964 until 1988. This was shown to be the result of a state-run, extensive doping program that rivaled the Russian doping scandal. In total, East German Olympic teams won 203, 192 silver, and 177 bronze medals during their brief reign, and with 40 gold medals in 1976 alone. The international community was skeptical of the seemingly impossible performance, which was compounded by accounts from former East German athletes who had departed the country. However, nothing was ever completely confirmed because the country conducted its drug tests. The doping ring was regulated at every level of government until after Germany reunified and East German records were made public. Its health repercussions are still being felt by former athletes today. That was the top 7 Olympic scandals. Who do you want to learn about next? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more from us, subscribe to Now Trending and turn on notifications before you go. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.